I didn't expect you to be able to afford such a place. Great job, dear. We don't mind moving in here with you. I was puzzled at my mother-in-law's words. Excuse me? With this, I don't mind not divorcing you. I'm single now, you know? My name is Lucy, 35 years old. I'm a doctor at a women's health clinic. I live 15 minutes drive away from my workplace in a nice apartment complex, where I live with my husband William and his parents. I married William 5 years ago. At that time, he told me, "If we get married, we'll have to live with my parents. I'm an only child, and I have to take care of them." I knew from the time I was dating William that he was an only child, and I was prepared to live with that, so I replied, "Of course, that's not a problem." So, when I married William, we rented a slightly larger apartment and started living with his parents. When we first started living together, his parents told me, "You're a doctor, Lucy. It must be busy, right? Your father-in-law and I will take care of the household chores and the other things. Just focus on your work." They took care of all the cooking, cleaning, and other chores. Thanks to that, I was able to concentrate on my work. I thought the same was true for William. But half a year later, that drastically changed. Suddenly, William quit his job. Startled, I asked him, "What happened? Why did you quit?" Then, William said, "Well, I think I've done enough. I want to quit here to take a break, and then start again. Plus, even if I quit, we won't have trouble making ends meet with your earnings." Why would you do something like this without discussing it with me? You can't guarantee that you'll find another job, right? What if something happens to me? "There's no point in saying things like that. We have savings, so we'll be fine." Fine, but then the one who stepped into the conversation was my mother-in-law. "Now, don't be so hard on him, Lucy. William has been working hard so far, so he deserves a little break, don't you think? All you have to do is make up for his absence by working harder." Her words left me speechless. I had also been working hard, and how on earth was it fair to suggest that I should work even harder while William took a break? That's ridiculous. It's not like William was the only one having a tough time. At my words, my mother-in-law's face changed. Suddenly, she raised her eyebrows and said, "Now, let me tell you something, Lucy. You're not the only one who has it tough. While you were at work, your father-in-law and I were taking care of the house. We were also working. That, too, without any breaks. If you're going to talk like that, we'll stop doing all the household chores. You can manage on your own from now on." What? Leaving me stunned, my mother-in-law and William left the room to watch TV in the living room. From that day on, I was left alone to handle the household chores and my job. No one else would do them. My in-laws often ordered takeout for meals, perhaps because they'd get hungry if they didn't prepare anything. And they would often order expensive dishes like sushi and soon started demanding me to leave more money for food expenses. "Lucy, please, leave enough money for us to eat. Do you want us to starve? Please try to cut down on the food expenses." Even when I asked them to cut down on the food expenses, my mother-in-law would retort, "How cruel of you to ask us to cut down on food expenses while we're staying home without any luxuries. Learn to take care of your in-laws." "I didn't know you were such a cold person. Maybe we should get a divorce," he said. I was so fed up that I started leaving more money for food, and my in-laws and William lived a life of eating whatever they wanted. One day, during my work break, I went to a gas station near my hospital to do some quick shopping. When I was about to pay at the counter, I realized I didn't have my card. It also seemed like there was less money in my wallet. For a moment, I was puzzled, and then I rushed home immediately after work. When I got home and rushed into the living room, there was a brand new large television. "Oh, welcome back, Lucy. You're early today." "Why are you in such a rush?" "Oh, Lucy, isn't it nice?" All three of them had malicious smiles on their faces. "What is this? How did you afford this?" "We had savings, obviously." "Savings?" That's when my mother-in-law spoke up. "Oh, Lucy, we didn't know you were saving so much for us. You should have told us earlier if you're going to be such a dutiful daughter-in-law. Now we can buy a lot more things. You finally proved yourself useful as a daughter-in-law." I found my card on the table. "My card? So, did you lose my savings? But how did you get the PIN?" "It's not hard to figure it out. It's only natural. We're married after all." My mother-in-law looked pleased, said, Oh, you really do love William, using his birthday as the pin. Honestly, I thought you didn't care about him at all, but you've proved me wrong. But it's not that I set the pin thinking of William, I just hadn't changed it since we got married. There's no way I could love William as he is now. Then, my mother-in-law and William, getting carried away, said, "Well, you haven't acted right as a daughter-in-law so far, so there's no point in making a fuss about this. The only way you can honor us is with money. Just quietly hand over your savings to us. From now on, please hand over $4,000 a month. From now on, don't squirrel away your money behind our backs. Make sure to give us our fair share," William had the audacity to add. Infuriated by their brazenness, I retorted, "This isn't a joke. Why should the money I earned go to your pocket money? If you want money so badly, work for it. This goes for you, mother-in-law and father-in-law too. Please have some decency and think about the household finances before you try to extort my money." Stunned, the three of them fell silent for a moment, but it didn't take long for my in-laws to snap back. "What an insolent daughter-in-law you are! Is that how you address your mother-in-law? We can't sense any gratitude. We don't need a daughter-in-law like you for anything other than money." "What an audacious remark from a daughter-in-law whose only worth is her money! There's a limit to disrespect," fumed my father-in-law. "Enough of your nonsense," William yelled and went to his room. I thought he had gone for good, but he came back to the living room holding a piece of paper which he thrust at me. "I have something for you." It was a divorce paper. What's more, William's name, as well as my in-laws' names, were duly filled in the witness section. "Go ahead. File it if you dare. But you will have to move out of this condo. I can't be living with a stranger, you see." Unlike his wife, William is competent. "Lucy, we can forgive your rudeness as a slip of the tongue now. But from now on, if you talk back to us even once, we'll really have William divorce you." The three laughed their souls out. The sight got my blood boiled with anger. But so did an equal measure of joy. But it's too early to get back at them. Suppressing my urge to leap for joy, I said, "Well, I'll start moving out some of my stuff and other essentials," and headed for my room. My in-laws and William looked puzzled. Did they think I would apologize out of desperation if they mentioned divorce? What a naive thought. The divorce papers even had a signature on them. I quickly packed up my valuables and said, "I'll be leaving now. Please don't come to me even if you're in trouble." With that, I left my condo. Of course, taking the divorce papers with me. I stayed at a nearby business hotel that night. I canceled the card William had used online. When I checked my balance, the card, which once had over $10,000, only had $3,000 left. I really wondered what they had spent so much money on. My savings are not limited to that account. Just in case, I have ample savings in 2 other accounts as well. While it hurt to have $7,000 spent, I thought it was inevitable if it meant cutting ties with that family. And the next day, I went to the city office first thing in the morning and filed the divorce papers. The divorce papers were accepted, and when I checked my family register certificate just to be sure, I was indeed divorced. Finally, I had cut ties with that mother and son. While I wanted to jump out of joy, there were still things that needed to be done. I went to a real estate agency and took care of 2 matters. One of them was buying a house for myself using the money I had saved over the years. Through this experience, I truly understood the importance of living my own life freely. I never knew when or how that freedom might be taken away. I realized how important it was to take immediate action when I wanted to do something. So, I bought a new, single-story house, with its spacious living room, a practical system kitchen, and a walk-in closet. Everything was mine. I bought all the furniture that day and moved what I could into the house. The next 3 days were spent shopping. While it was hard to get everything I needed, it was the most fun I'd had in a long time. Replacing everything with new items required a substantial amount of money, but I thought it was a worthy expense for a new start. A few days later, around 8 p.m., my doorbell rang. I was in the middle of dinner and wondered who could be calling at this time. When I checked the intercom, there stood William, my former mother-in-law, and my former father-in-law, a sight that was almost nostalgic. I knew they'd come. With that, I went to the door and opened it. William immediately confronted me with great force. "Hey, what the hell are you thinking? Moving out without telling anyone is crazy." At that, my former in-laws tried to calm him down. "William, calm down. We said we would complain after we've calmed down. Remember, right, dear?" "That's right. Look, isn't it a good house? It looks more spacious and comfortable than our current condo." As they said this, the three of them barged into my house without permission. Wait a minute. Don't just barge into my place. I tried to stop them, but... Shut up. This is our house. What's wrong with us coming in? With that, the three of them went ahead and entered my house. The furniture is not to my taste, but the overall build is decent. I admit, it might be more comfortable than our current condo. I didn't expect you to be able to afford such a place. Great job, dear. We don't mind moving in here with you. Excuse me? We're telling you that we approve this condo. That we'll live here with you. We might even forgive your previous impotence. You're pretty low level as a daughter-in-law, but we could appreciate your thoughtfulness of preparing this place for us. I wonder if William would be satisfied with this. I guess I can forgive this. I don't mind staying married to you if we can live here. Excuse me? Who's your wife? And who's not getting divorced? Unsure of my question's intent, the three exchanged glances. I'm not married, you know. I'm single. Silence filled the room. Rather than being stunned, the three seemed to not understand the meaning of my words. Huh? What nonsense are you spouting? You think you can get away with all the disrespect you showed us? I shoved the divorce certificate right into William's stunned face. His and my in-laws' faces changed color upon seeing it. Lucy, how dare you do such a thing without consulting us? Do you think you'll be forgiven? Yep, I did. You gave it to me for that purpose, didn't you? Lucy, how dare you do such a thing without consulting us? Do you think you'll be forgiven? What do you mean forgiven? Your names were also clearly written on that divorce notice, weren't they? Writing your names there means you've made a decision, right? You were the ones who prepared the divorce papers in the first place, weren't you? William clearly told me to file it if I could, so I did. What's the problem? At that, the three kept their mouths shut, with red faces. I decided to press further. By the way, you're the ones who kicked me out. You seem to have forgotten, but the condo you guys live in right now is under my name. Now that we're strangers, I have no need to keep that contract, so I've canceled it. If you don't leave within a week, you guys will be evicted out of that place. You... Their fiery red faces quickly turned pale, and then I launched my final attack. I held my phone and made a call. Oh, hello, I'm sorry, but there are 3 people who forced their way into my house. Yes, I have trespassers here. Please come immediately. The address is... I had called the police. Everything was perfect. Don't think you'll get away with this. What a daughter-in-law. I can't believe you'd go so far as to call the police on your family. Remember this. How disrespectful of you. Each spat their parting words and fled from the house. And yet, I've been saying that I'm single. And so, my battle finally came to an end. I thought that those 3 would launch an attack at the hospital where I worked, but surprisingly, they never showed up. They seemed to have stubbornly stayed in the apartment even after the termination notice period of a week. And once I received a call from the real estate agent. However, I told them, those people are complete strangers to me, so it seems they were charged with trespassing and taken care of by the police. Afterwards, each of them was fined $1,000, but to no one's surprise, they didn't have such money. A relative from the countryside paid on their behalf, and apparently they were all forcibly taken to the countryside. By now, they are probably helping out on a farm for free at the relative's house. As for me, everything is going smoothly. My new life is so comfortable since I'd completely forgotten how wonderful living alone could be. Having been away from living for myself rather than anyone else for a long time, each day feels fresh. From now on, I plan to enjoy each day to its fullest, in order to make the most of my life.
My name is Erica, and I work in the architecture field for a major home builder. From my student days, I had always decided I would master this job. The reason being my father, who passed away in an accident soon after I started middle school. He was a certified architect, and it seems like his dream was to establish his ideal company. Unfortunately, he passed away without fulfilling that dream. I'll fulfill my father's dream on his behalf. Since then, I've lived with a purpose. I, too, am now married and live with my husband, Philip. We don't have children. I knew that if I had children, I wouldn't be able to work as I have been doing so far, because I love my job so much. As a condition for marriage, I had Philip understand that I did not want children for now. Erica, good job today. Do you have time after today's meeting? What's up? I have some things I'd like to discuss. How about going out for drinks occasionally? If that's the case, I have a good wine at home. How about a mini home party? That sounds great. I'd love to go. Well then, let's finish the meeting and go shopping. And let's take off early for a change. Yay! As promised, I finished my work early that day and returned to my apartment with my most cherished junior colleague, Darcy. We had prepared some quick-to-make dishes and deli foods that we had bought from the supermarket, neatly served them on plates, and started drinking. Although we had gone out for drinks and meals together many times before, this was the first time I had invited her to my home. Being at home, we drank without any reservations. Since it's a day off tomorrow, why don't you stay over tonight? But your husband will be coming home, right? That would be too presumptuous. I'll go back by the last train. He'll be back soon, but it's no problem. While we were having this conversation, my husband came home. I'm back. Oh, do we have a guest? Welcome back. It's my colleague Darcy from the company. We're having a mini home party today. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. I'm sorry to intrude. Erica always takes care of me. No problem at all. Can I join in too? Sure, I'll get a glass for you. So we ended up drinking as a group of 3. I had no idea that this would lead to chaos in my life. Having just finished a big project and working overtime for days on end, I was exhausted and ended up falling asleep on the sofa, leaving the 2 of them behind. When I woke up in the middle of the night, I vaguely saw the 2 of them having a good time in the distance. I thought they were still drinking, but I fell back asleep. When I woke up the next day, Darcy was nowhere to be seen. Good morning. You slept well. It's already noon, haha. What? I slept that long. Where's Darcy? Darcy? I dropped her off at the station this morning. She's a kind junior, saying it's okay not to wake you up since you're tired. I'm sorry. Did you stay up late last night? No, we didn't drink that late. At that time, I felt something off about my husband's words, but I didn't press the issue. I'm sure it was the middle of the night when I woke up once. I think the 2 of them were having a good time drinking late into the night, but I didn't say anything at the time about why my husband was hiding that, or if he was being considerate towards me. Then about 3 months passed, and I invited Darcy to drink at my house again. I've been feeling a bit under the weather lately, so I've decided to lay off the alcohol for a bit. Oh, what's wrong? Are you feeling ill? It's nothing serious, really. I guess I might have overdone it with the drinking recently, haha. Well, if you ever need to talk about anything, don't hesitate. Besides, my husband would be thrilled if you came over more often. Ah, sure. A few weeks passed after this conversation when, one day after finishing my overtime, I came home to find my husband and Darcy there. Oh, what's up? Did you guys come to hang out? But something seems off. Erica, could you sit down? What? Well, actually, on that day we drank together, after you went to bed, it was just Darcy and I left. We had a lot to talk about, and that's when we started to keep in touch. I see. We've met a few times since then without telling you. Oh, really? Why didn't you tell me? Was there a reason you couldn't? I'm really sorry, Erica. Darcy and I are dating. What? I'm sorry. She's pregnant. It's my child. Erica, can we break up? What? Darcy's the junior colleague that I've been mentoring, right? I understand that, and I'm truly sorry. Next to Philip, Darcy just cried. In such a situation, you'd think that anyone would be seriously shaken up. But at that moment, I was calm and collected. I guess for my husband, a woman who always prioritizes her work over anything else is boring. While the affair was a problem, the fact that I was cheated on didn't impact me too much. I'm fine with a divorce. You don't have to pay me anything. But since Darcy is pregnant, this could be a good opportunity. I want her to quit her job. I don't think I can handle taking care of a junior colleague who's pregnant with my husband's child. Erica! Darcy, there's no point in crying. I should be the one crying here because I was betrayed by my husband and my junior colleague. But if you cry like that, I can't cry. I managed to handle the situation like a perfect student till the end. I know I can live alone, and my husband must have wanted a child early on. So this is good. That was my honest answer at that time. Erica, thank you so much. I appreciate the amicable divorce. Normally, such matters turn into a big hassle. The fact that Philip and Darcy were grateful to me was just because I accepted the situation without much fuss. But I could never forget how frustrated I felt at that moment. After our divorce, they got married and became a family. I have a goal in life. For that, I wanted to believe that this was the right choice for me. After a while of being divorced, I got a call from my senior who had taken care of me during my college days. He is 2 years older than me and had the same ambitions as I did, so we had several times during various exams and got along well. He got a job at a major company, different from mine, before me. We used to keep in touch occasionally, but after getting a job and getting married, we naturally lost contact. Erica, it's been a while. I heard rumors about the career-driven woman getting divorced, and I thought it would be a good time to boldly invite you for dinner. Would you be able to make time? I would have been thrilled to get a dinner from you, Andrew, even if I was married. That wouldn't be appropriate. It would be disrespectful to your husband, so I couldn't invite you. Andrew, you're always so composed. I'm free today, actually. Great, let's do it today then. It's the first time I'm going out for a meal with someone since my divorce. Since that time, I hadn't thought much beyond my work. But now, the prospect of dinner with Andrew had me feeling a bit excited about something beyond work. The hours of the day quickly passed, and I finished work a bit earlier than the time we had agreed on. After freshening up, I headed to the meeting place. True to his word, Andrew arrived at the restaurant right on time. Long time no see. Indeed, Erica. I've heard about all your accomplishments. Have you been well? I was busy with a divorce and all, but that's settled now. I'm thinking of making plans for my work in the future. That must have been tough. Are you okay now? I think my ex has remarried and is living peacefully. As for me, I've moved and sorted things out, so I'm enjoying living alone now, haha. Must have been hard. I've been alone all this time, so no changes for me, haha. How about your work? I've been following your accomplishments too, Andrew. Actually, the reason I invited you today is to talk about work. When I heard about your divorce, I thought this is the right time. What do you mean? Erica, would you like to build a company you've always dreamed of with me? Me? With you, Andrew? I've always thought, if I were to go independent, I'll do it with Erica. But after your marriage, I was indecisive and just passing time at the current company. I had no idea you thought of me like that, Andrew. I know you've always had a clear vision of your future, Erica. I won't push you if it means getting in your way, but if I can make your journey smoother, if I can be of help, I want to start a business together. Is that unacceptable? Thank you. Can I take some time to think about it? But please know, I'm considering it positively. I understand. Let's keep this conversation for another time and enjoy today. Let's eat and drink. Sure. I had never considered starting a business with someone else. Would it be right to involve others in fulfilling this simple childhood dream of making my father's dream come true? I've always admired Andrew. He's reliable, and above all, he has a track record and connections. If I were to start a company with someone, he would be the best partner. That day, we had a really good time, reminiscing about the old days and spent late into the night. From that day on, Andrew and I started going out for meals frequently. Around this time, I found myself enjoying the time I spent with Andrew, regardless of work. I was looking forward to meeting him again, and a different feeling was budding within me. Perhaps if I had felt this way towards Philip, we might not have divorced. And then I made a big decision. I will bring closure to my past with Andrew and look towards the future. I made up my mind. Today, I'm going to meet Andrew. Andrew, sorry for showing up out of the blue today.
If it's all you're out of the blue, Erica, I'm used to it by now. No problem at all.
Right, I have something important to discuss today.
Huh? Yes.
Andrew, I have failed once before, but would you consider being with me with the intention of marriage?
Huh? What?
I'm sorry for dropping this on you so suddenly.
No, I thought we were going to talk about work, so I was taken aback. I'll give you the answer straight away. Forget about any preconditions. Let's get married.
What?
I've liked you since college, Erica. I have no reason to turn down a confession from you.
Did I take the long way around?
You disappeared completely once I got a job. I thought you'd get married without telling me.
I thought I shouldn't get in the way of you, Andrew. Now a working adult.
That's just like you, Erica. But I'm already satisfied with being able to reunite like this.
From that moment, we started our relationship. Having reconnected with him, a familiar face from long ago, I fell in love with him. I had been hung up on realizing my father's dream with someone else, but if my partner in marriage is the one to do it with me, I'm sure my father won't mind. While preparing for our marriage and setting up our company, we clearly defined our work-life balance and fully enjoyed the limited time we had as lovers. We maintained our relationship with our current companies while preparing to resign. At the same time, we designed and built our new home with an office on the first floor and our living space on the second and third floors. My new life, which began with divorce, was about to take on a major challenge, resigning from our companies. Believing we can get through anything together, still we only have positive feelings. There is one more thing that I even find surprising. I told him I wanted a child. I had never felt this way before. At any rate, we were happy. Then, construction of our new home finished without a hitch, and our new life truly began. Thanks to our mutual preparation time, our business made a smooth start, and it became a topic of conversation in the industry. Then one day, I got a call from Philip. Philip, what's up?
Erica, can we meet sometime soon?
Is something wrong?
I have something I want to consult you about.
Just hold on a moment. I put Philip on hold, told Andrew who was working at his desk, and asked if I could go. Andrew said it was fine. We've just started our company and are busy. Would you mind coming to our office? I asked him. Philip seemed surprised.
In that case, I'll bring Darcy and our child,
he said. I gave him the address and hung up. Seeing you, Andrew, such a wonderful person, and our stylish office that we designed together. I bet my ex-husband, who dumped me for an affair, doesn't think I'm living unhappily.
We're clearly happy to anyone who sees us. Don't worry.
Then Philip and Darcy came to visit our office. From what I could see, Darcy had lost all of her previous sparkle, looking plain and devoid of any cheer in her expression.
Excuse us for intruding. Erica, it's been a while. Sorry for bothering you while you're busy.
Go ahead and take a seat.
This office is so impressive. You've really achieved your dream. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm just getting started.
Here's some tea.
My husband and I designed this place together and started our company.
Nice to meet you. I'm working over there, so take your time. Sorry for showing up uninvited.
So, what's up? Darcy looks different. Something's not going well?
Well, I lost my job due to restructuring right after you and I divorced.
What?
I started looking for a job immediately, but I couldn't find anything. In the meantime, we had a baby. I wanted to be there for them, so I took some flexible part-time work. But I can't keep going like this forever.
Why are you asking me?
I was hoping you might be able to help me find a job.
Ah, I see.
Even if I can't get a job, maybe you could talk to Darcy's old company about taking her back.
Just when I was at a loss for words, Andrew came in.
Sorry for interrupting, but isn't it wrong to ask her for that? What? It's not my place to say, but she's my wife. I'd appreciate it if you didn't disrespect her. Considering why you two showed up, why did you come here? Don't you feel embarrassed? It's disgraceful.
Let's just leave. Darcy, if you're proud of the work you did at the company, why don't you contact them yourself? I always thought you were an excellent colleague. Have some confidence. Erica, don't look so down. It's not good for the baby to see Mom upset.
You did the right thing by divorcing me. You found a good guy and moved on quickly.
How dare you say that?
But isn't it true? Maybe you even planned it all, bringing Darcy that day. Maybe you wanted us to meet, hoping we'd end up like this, haha.
That's awful. Just leave.
Yes, please leave. She's not that kind of person. And it was me who reached out after so long. It's not like she contacted me because of the divorce. Really? But living with him, all he thinks about is work. It can't be fun, can it? We see work as work. We make sure to go out on dates every week, and we enjoy our time together. I guess it wasn't like that when you were married. But in the end, she's all about work. She says she doesn't want kids, so you can't fully become a family. I see. She told me that she wants to have children once the business settles down. We're planning to expand our family. That's why we moved the office downstairs, to make it easier for her to work. Darcy, let's go.
Okay.
Erica, you're better off without me. Be happy.
Philip, you need to get it together. Take good care of Darcy. That day, I showed my ex-husband how successful I had become since our divorce. I don't know what happened to him after that, but I hope that he used that day as a fresh start, and things have been going well for him. A year later, we were blessed with a baby. I worked hard during my pregnancy, but for now, I'm leaving the business to my husband and focusing on raising our child. I am truly happy. I'm sure my father would be pleased too, from afar.